Hi everyone. So today we are going to explore our file system of macOS. Okay. Now I observed that while I was doing little automation, creating backups, I realized that one of the most fundamental thing that we should understand about Unix-based operating system is the file structure, because everything is either a file or a folder. Yeah, this terminology you might have heard many times, and this is very true. So while I was creating a newsletter on my LinkedIn, you must check this one out. I took a snapshot and I found it very helpful. Now, most of us don't realize that there are many things, many folders that we need to understand. Now, I just opened the terminal. Let me just close the terminal. Just let me open the terminal. Okay, as you can see, it is showing this sign. Now, let us check the default path location. Okay, so pwd. Okay, so this is where my home resides. Okay, my home is here, but I want to check the root. Now, root is something where these files and folders are built. Okay, so this is the root. So I think if we click on this, on a forward slash, then we will be able to land up to root. So let me go to cd slash. Here we are at the root. Now this tilde sign is for the default location of my computer. So as a user, my terminal gives me the default, opens the default location on my terminal, while when I click here, it is the root. Now consider root as the root, root of the tree from where all the branches start. Now, if we talk about application, now let's see how many folders are there. So, ls, we have applications, we have volumes, we have etc. It's not there in the etc. We have, now this is the private folder. Okay, it has categorized it. Hidden system stuff. It is supposed to be hidden, but it is not, because I am the admin user. Now this is var, that is var folder. Then this is temp. So etc, temp and var are in private. Then we have volumes, then we have users, and then we have library, then we have bin, sbin, system admin binaries, which is not there in this. Maybe it is embedded in another one, another folder. Then user, usr, and it has bin, sbin, lib, and local. Let's just start maybe with users. Okay, let's see how many users are there in my system. So cd users. Okay, okay, so it's shared and apple. Now step ahead, ls cd apple ls. Okay, now you can see that I am just switching from different folders. Now just to let you know that the users one that we opened is a home directories for users. It contains desktop, documents, downloads, as you can see on the screen itself. Now let's move to the other one. Let's try maybe applications. Okay, so as you can see, these are the applications that are installed in my system. The file extension, by a file extension itself, you can understand that it's apps installed here. The .app is the app bundles, packages. Then let's move to libraries. Okay, see, so many libraries. Now this is system-wide libraries like frameworks. So this is a system-wide library, framework, caches, and resources. So this operating system is heavily relying on these libraries. You can say all the UI and functionality based code is saved in libraries. It's heavily dependent. Okay, so yeah, let's move to system. Okay, on system you can see core operating system file, kernel files, macOS files, internal stuff, right? It's mostly read only. So let's see what's the access type. See, mostly read, right? Okay, read and execute. We cannot write in that. Okay. Bootloader is also here. I think, yeah, in the kernel, see, you can see kernel here. Okay, let's move ahead. Maybe let's try volumes. Now what's about it? It consists of the mounted USB drives, DMG files, disks maybe. So let me see, is there anything? So it's the hard disk that is there on the system, that this internal hard disk it's talking about. We don't have any USB or external hardware plugged in to my system, so it's not showing anything. So if we just enter this, see, it's opening all the things that are there, the root, which were all visible in the root file, right? All right, let's come out of volumes and now let's try cores. Okay, let's try bin. Okay, so you can see so many files and folders in that. It is command line binaries like ls, cp, you can see, right? mv, these if you remember, these are shell scripts, right? It is majorly for terminal operations. Okay, let's now, if you can see, there are many things as bins also. Now if we talk about system binaries or admin tasks like if config, mount, the things that require sudo. So this is bin is for general purpose, while sbin is for sudo, like admin level access. Okay, so if we just open here, you cannot see okay, you can see sbin, and there is bin also. Yes, cool, right? So if you can see this mount and everything, it's mentioned here. Cool. Now let's move ahead to etc. Now this is something very important, which you will also find in Linux operating system, and it's majorly configuration file. It's majorly configuration files. So these are majorly the configuration files. It's very interesting, you know, you must explore and try to understand. Now if we come out of it, is let's enter private. Now private is some hidden stuff, as the name suggests. It contains etc file, var file physically. It doesn't give access easily. Okay, so ls ltr, only admin can read and write and execute. Nothing other than that is given. It's the same thing, I think. Yeah, it's the same thing, just it's in the physical form. Okay, and let's enter the temp. Okay, it's the cache temporary file, which usually gets cleared on rebooting or stored for short-term purposes only. Then let's try to enter var folder. Okay, you can see there are logs, caches, pools in there. Okay, so if you remember, we were trying to install Python and Bash. So we used a package of Homebrew. So this is the optional package that we installed first, third-party software, and that is what it is showing here, right? It is the installer package, right? Okay, so let's see. Now let's try USR. Okay, so it's user binaries, libraries, headers, and read-only data. It is shared by all users, mostly system-wide programs. Okay, there are so many. Yeah, and yeah, but why there are so many bins in there, and where are the actual code like Python and these are stored, and from which bin, bash, shebang shell scripts execute, because bin is a very important folder. So yeah, so let me give you a conceptual understanding of what is happening here. Okay, in macOS, bins stand for binaries, that is executable program, but there are different categories of binaries, so they live in different bins. Okay, so if we talk about this bin, right, it is essentially for user commands for booting, rebooting, repairing the system. So it's the shell command that we save here. Then we have sbin, which is as I told you, which I told you is more of a root admin access kind of thing, which requires like mounting, configuration, and all that. Then we have user bin, where most of the normal user programs are stored. Okay, and then we have user s bin, which is so let me show you. Now in this bin, most of the codes are stored, like Python and all. So let's try to enter. So maybe we will be able to find Python be installed here. I hope so. Okay, as you can see, Python is stored here. Yeah. So this is where user object bin is where normal user programs are stored, like Python, Git, and Nano, etc., etc. Editors, all that. Now, user s bin is where actually the execution part is done. The admin level access codes are stored, and then there is another user local bin, locally installed software, which is not the part of Microsoft, which is not a part of Mac OS. Okay, so let's explore something else here. Okay, right now we are in user bin. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, so we have user local, and then we'll enter bin local, and then we have bin also ls. See, now this is stored locally, which is not the part of Microsoft OS. So if you can see, we have AWS, we have Chrome driver, we have code pack, and then we have optional bin. We are not going to go in that one, but I hope you understood the three bins, the three important bins which are crucial for you. So many times people get confused that we are storing our shell scripts commands in bin, which should not be accessed. Then we also store our new programming languages or softwares in bin, and then there's a lot of heavy usage of bin which can be overwritten also. So it's not like that. The name is same, but the paths are different. So I'll add one more image here which will make it perfectly clear for you. So keep exploring, try to go through your own system in this so that you understand better, and feel free to use AI tools to explore more and internet resources to keep learning. Thank you very much.